Welcome back to Numbers Live Sports Network. I'm the Tweed, reporting live from the Western Conference. So we went over the two bottom feeders last year. Right now, we're going to go over the Portland TrailBlazers, who ended the season 27-55. Obviously, Damian Lillard missed a good majority of last year, but not running from the grind. Now he's back. He's back this year. It's a new year. He's healthy. Um, they got a solid team last year. Well, coming into this year in the offseason, Portland Trailblazers acquired Jeremy Grant via trade from the Pistons, and they went ahead and scooped up Gary Payton II from the Warriors. That was two solid acquisitions, and they drafted Shadon Sharp and Jabari Walker. They lost a host of other players though, including Eric Bledsoe, LB Joe Ingles. Well, they had him just for a solid minute. Norvell Pale, Cody Zeller. That's funny. They got Cody Zeller, and then yeah, yeah, and then yeah. It's a lot going on. But so what's going on with the Portland Trailblazers? I'm gonna start with you, Prussia. Like, what's going on with your man's? What's
He not my man, but say, to me, same shit, different year. Um, we'll talk about Dame's loyalty to the franchise for no apparent reason. And again, I haven't really gone on my tangent about this, but I think that he's the last person that should say someone's running from the grind when really he's comfortable with staying with this franchise that doesn't put a winning team around them, and so therefore they have no expectation. So it's easy to say that you're loyal to this franchise, um, and that people are running from the grind because you're staying with the same team. But the people who are leaving teams are going to contenders to try to win playoff games and try to win championships. They're running towards the grind. You're complacent with staying with this team that's not putting a winning team around you, um, and masking it with loyalty. So who's really running from the grind when you're content with staying on this team that has no expectations? This team literally never has any expectation. Never. This team is never picked to make it to a Western Conference Finals, let alone be a championship contender, and he's okay with that. So I really think he needs to stop saying that people are running from the grind until he's ready to either leave Portland to go try to grind out some playoff wins and go grind out for a championship, or until he puts the pressure on that franchise to put a winner around it.
And he recently just said that he actually, and this is the first time I've heard him say this, that he wants to stay in Portland because he wants to pass Clyde Drexler for all
You,
time.
you see how I didn't mention the championship though in that?
I've never heard him say that.
I want to have the most points ever in Portland. Like no one cares.
He was like, "Why would I leave? Why would I leave before passing Clyde?"
That's how you know he has no championship inspirations at all or expectations. If their main point for staying somewhere, like Giannis, literally like, I want to stay here and bring the city a championship. LeBron went back to Cleveland to bring that city a championship. Not a single one of them like, I can't wait to be the all-time leading scorer of this franchise.
I
A
think
franchise
That is
that,
crazy.
yeah, fuck that.
it's very
Um,
late in his career to be talking about that kind of stuff. I don't know. Like, really, that's all you want to do? Go ahead.
Look, he a rapper. He's
Oh
straight.
yeah, he got his album and stuff. That's right. Yeah.
He's
Jeremy
straight.
Grant, Jeremy Grant is a nice pickup. Shaden Sharp, I think, is going to be a really good NBA player. Um, if they don't play him off the ball, then he'll immediately come in and take some of those Anthony Simons minutes, unfortunately. But Simons can play off the ball as well. But then now they're kind of stacked at the guard spots with uh, Gary Payton II, Josh Hart, Anthony Simons. Um, Again, the names on this team sound okay on paper. But there are no real expectations for this team. The team will be a play-in team, maybe 8th seed if they're lucky. But they'll lose in the first round regardless of who they play. And when it's over, all we'll see is the amount of years that's still left on Dame's contract. Big deal. Big deal. He's never pressing this franchise to put winning players around him. You never hear about him, on the phone recruiting free agents. Like who's to say that he even wants that type of pressure? That he's always saying somebody else is running from the grind. Just be content with scoring points, and never having any expectation.
Hitting 40-footers. Look, he don't run from the grind, bro. He don't recruit players.
But I just think, imagine if they didn't literally trade away CJ McCollum, they didn't trade away Norman Powell or Robert Covington, Nurk, Healthy, Dame. Like that's a better team than what they have currently. So it's just like I'm straight. Like Crusher said, 8, 9, 10, they go be somewhere in there.
What about Nas Little?
Keep next. Next.
No.
Nas Little. I have more faith in Greg Brown than Nas Little, just off pure athleticism. Now I feel like Roy Williams broke Nas. I hate to say it like that, but I feel like Nas has not been the same after the McDonald's All-American game and he stepped foot on that UNC campus.
Wow.
He never reached what many thought his ceiling could be. He's still ground floor in my eyes.
How many years has he been in the league? 3?
I think 3 or this is 3rd or 4th year.
Some people
I can tell you here shortly. 1 second.
A lot of people may not recall or even knew about this, but Nas Little's father was working with like David West, and they were trying to, create something totally different outside of the NCAA for potential college athletes to play. It never really got off the ground. So we don't really know where Nas Little's head was going into college. I want to say did he start at Carolina or was he a 6th man that year?
Nah, he was like 7th, 8th man that year.
Wow.
Yeah,
and every time he missed a defensive rotation, he was sitting back down.
Came out right away and just never really lived up to, expectation. But I mean, fits with the franchise if your name isn't Dame Lillard.
Well, and then what I was also thinking about is the year Anthony Simons had last year, especially at the second half of the year, how he just exploded. And part of me wants to see Dame go somewhere else and let Anthony shine, because it's so obviously Dame's going to come back and take his shine a little bit. So it's like,
but people thought that may be the case, seeing that they, were in talks of trading CJ McCollum, and then it eventually happened. But no. Dame Lillard doesn't want that same stigma as other superstars that left their original teams. I don't know if he thinks he's Kobe or Mike or what. We're talking people whose main goal was winning a championship. We're talking 2 players who at one point in their career were at odds with the franchise because of the makeups of the team. But not Dame Lillard. He wants to show you that he can stick around for another 7 to 8 years, and pretty much be a company man. So it is what it is. And I may catch some flack for that. I really don't care. Dame Lillard's been in the league, what?
12, 13
years. All of them been with Portland.
Yep.
They've been to 1 Western Conference Finals, I want to say, correct?
Got
1.
And, no, Warriors, my bad.
And at that time, they weren't even expected to do that. So I guess he felt like, they overachieved, and that's cool. So I mean, I guess that's the goal now, to try to overachieve opposed to actually, having some type of expectation for the team, because expectations, when you have expectations and you don't make them, then you get looked at in a sort of negative light. But that never comes with Dame, because the Blazers never have any expectations. So like I said, man, he's content, and I'm content with him just staying over there and being content. Shit, like,
I guess
whatever.
you say Dame is under promising and under delivering, huh?
Man, no, he over delivering on the under promise.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, like I don't really know what to call it. I mean, being a superstar on a team with no expectations, like, it's almost like what you're doing is for naught. You know what I'm saying? And if it's not bothering you, then it's not gonna bother me. But just stop saying that people are running from the grind because they leave a team to actually go chase winning.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He the NBA's version of Dan Marino. Just a great player and just would never win shit.
Facts.
And it's a lot of players out there who are just content with just being professional athletes and just.
I mean, when it's all said and done, he'll go down in the conversations with the Charles Barkleys and the Carmelones. You know what I'm saying? Great players that never won a championship.
Well, look, even Carmelo ran from the grind. Yeah, Carmelo ran from the grind to try to go get him a ring.
He did.
So
he teamed up with Hall of Famers,
and they at least made it to the finals.
I can see Dame now.
Dame won't see a final in Portland. Dame won't see another Western Conference Finals in Portland. It's just not happening.
Not at all. I can see.
It's crazy because if we know that, he knows that, and he's okay with it.
He's content.
He's okay with it. So
he's content. Let him be content. Let him do what he want to do. I can see him as an older player being like, "Hey, look, I played with LeBron and Steph Curry. I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
oh, that's gonna be his built-in excuse.
Yeah, like I played in the LeBron, Steph Curry era. So I'm not ashamed of anything, and I can see it now. But anyway, but hey, they do have a big three. They got him, Nurk, and
hey man, thank y'all for coming out there about the Portland Trailblazers.
Good old 9 seed Blazers. All right.
Right.
Appreciate you coming out. Numbers Live Sports Network. Peace out.